I would love to take a few minutes and just introduce you to Novaestiq, which is a new aesthetic company, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So our goal is really, the ambition is to really be the next billion-dollar aesthetic company with a focus on innovative and intelligent skin solutions driving practice success, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into the presentation here over the next few minutes. So the company has a really nice leadership team. It was founded by Miles Harrison, who was the president of Galderma North America from 2015 through 2021. He had a long career at Novartis before that. Humberto Antunes, who many in the room know, he was the previous global CEO at Galderma before they eventually sold that fully to Nestle. This is prior to EQT and to the recent IPO. Humberto is a partner at Gore Range Capital. The other major partner in the company is Chroma Pharmaceuticals out of Austria, one of the leading HA manufacturers in the world. Drew Fine, again, I have been in aesthetics for about 10 years. I was head of marketing at Galderma when we nearly quadrupled the business from 2014 through 2021. Had a stint at Allergan as well, and then for the past year and a half have been doing a number of things with practice side, worked with one of the large PE roll-ups, consulting with practices, and then have been working with a lot of startup companies over the past year and a half as well. So Novaestiq came together over the past 30 years with some interesting opportunities. It started with a novel technology out of Chroma that was the basis of the company. Novaestiq has a North American license to their next generation filler technology. And then at the end of last year, we added a third, a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth product into the mix, and now we are commercialization ready. So really, with very minimal investment over the past few years, we have a company with a broad range of assets. I'll talk about that. As you think about innovating, then the first step is like, holy cow, we've got 6 assets. How can you figure out how to innovate and do things a little bit differently as you go to market? So the first thing we did is did an assessment of what's working. So what you see is there's a lot of single product companies out there that become pretty challenged if you look at the past 5 or 6 years in aesthetics. Many of the standard playbooks are really tough to execute if you don't have scale, which is a real challenge as companies came through COVID and you're trying to launch new things. It's very important to have a cadence of launches that are relevant to practices, so you have a reason to keep going in there. You see that leading to a lot of success. And then I think as you look at companies trying to scale, managing revenue and profit growth has been very challenging. It's tough to get to profitability for many companies if you don't have a differentiated plan. So the second thing that we did then is we said, okay, well, let's go talk to practices. So we talked to 900 different practice owners. Again, I had a stint with practices where I owned practices, managed marketing, the commercialization strategies for them. It really opens your eyes on how you can run the business effectively when you're on the manufacturer side. I was actually telling Alyssa last, my old boss at Galderma, we made so many mistakes at Galderma that made it hard on practices. As I get a new company going, how can we make it a lot easier? So that's really the focus of the company. How do you make it easy for practices to have success with your product portfolio? You can see kind of the ideas that we had here, but so much of it is, how can you help me run a very effective practice and make my brand successful? Not necessarily make your brand successful, but make my brand successful first. So here's what we have as a company. We have 2 FDA-cleared products, one called Sebacia, gold microparticle for use with lasers to treat acne. This is ready to go. We are actually going to begin our pre-commercialization or early launch efforts on this in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We have a product called Epilacea, which is the old silver microparticle product for light laser hair removal that Sienna Biopharmaceuticals had. This is also FDA cleared and ready to go. We will launch this later this year or early next year. We have 2 fillers that have completed phase 3 trials and are in various stages of FDA submission processes that we anticipate launching. And then we have 2 next generation fillers using novel cross-linking technology that are preparing to enter phase 3 trials later this year. So you have 2 cleared products, 2 completed phase 3 trials, and a pipeline. Again, a pretty nice set of assets to launch a company. So we are in very large parts of the market. We think we have about a $3 billion addressable market between the filler side of the business and the cash pay acne side of the business. Still a lot of under penetration, very attractive long-term growth opportunities in both of those products, both those markets. And I think a lot of opportunity to add other things into a disruptive and somewhat differentiated go-to-market platform with what we have. So we'll establish the platform now, democratize the filler market, scale with growth, and then we'll usher in the next generation. We've built that $1 billion kind of goal on just the things in green, so the stuff in gold is going to be extras. We also have some additional value creation opportunities here. We've actually just finalized the deal to pick up the SAFA assets in Canada, so we will begin distributing those for Canada as well, which is a really nice opportunity. So now we have full North American rights to all the filler assets from our Chroma partner. We will look at OUS licensing for the sebaceous line. We will be looking at additional indications with different lasers for sebaceous as well. We'll launch sebaceous in Canada with our new distribution partner, hopefully later this year or early next year. And then we'll begin looking at the North American launch of Appalachia and additional out-licensing opportunities for Appalachia as well. So all in all, a great platform, big markets, proven products. You've de-risked a lot of this because we don't have development risk. The manufacturing is all outsourced. We don't need to build manufacturing plants. And I think we built a plan to get ourselves to profitability and build that next billion-dollar independent aesthetics company very effectively. So thank you so much. I know my time is short. If anyone has any questions, I'll be around. Please, I got to put contact information up here, but feel free to find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Carrier Pigeon, whatever works for you. So nice to see everyone. Thank you so much for the time.